Faye, why do you create?
I create because I am the creation of a creator. So it's innate. I cannot exist without creating. It's natural to me.
Beauty is as internal as it is external. Today, I am joined in conversation by a woman who face beats to perfection. And her name is Feyzo Ogundipe. We know her as Feyzo. Some of you may know her as that as well. But I'm excited to have this conversation because, we talk about internal beauty, but we also want to talk about external beauty and how that features in not just her life as a creative, but also for the women that she helps look beautiful as they create. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Vicky.
So I'm going to jump right in, Faye,
Okay.
because beauty, they say, is in the eye of the beholder. But in your case, it's also in the hands of the beholder. What's your favorite way to make makeup or to use makeup as a storytelling tool?
You started from like the very deep end.
Yes.
So everybody, I believe, is a story, a book, history, future, and with every look. And I don't think I can answer this question without talking about filmmaking, which is really...
Which is a space that you play in, so yes.
Yeah. So outside of the individual story that everybody has, and the fact that every time the camera rolls and people are seated in front of a camera, it's not just to capture looks, it's to tell a very important story. And so the essence of the end product is what drives the process of application. I'm thinking, what are we trying to achieve? It's really never about, it goes beyond the glam. It's now about every snapshot, every scene, every time this person, this character, this talent comes on screen. What are we trying to communicate without using so much words? So that is like the driving force behind makeup for me.
But Feyzo,
Yeah.
to whom much is given,
It was.
much is expected.
Okay.
You're not just a makeup artist, you're also a special effects artist.
Yeah.
You teach makeup artistry,
Yes, I
and
do.
you also run a skincare line. As someone who literally, as I mentioned before, holds the faces of other women in her hands, how do you handle that responsibility?
Everybody is different, there is not one straight road to beauty, to makeup application. So everybody has a unique feature, they have unique looks, they have different desires, So, I treat everybody not just as a canvas, but as an individual, a person who is completely different from the last look I did or from the last story I told with makeup. So yes, that's the most important to me, is the consciousness that this person is different from every other person else. And yeah.
Well, let's stay on this question a little bit and go deeper in terms of your why. Why did you get into it? Why are you still in this business?
I think I'm still in this business. Let me start from there because I'm very stubborn. I was born into a family of creatives, There was always just some form of art in my family. And when I was much younger, I just fancied myself like I'm going to end up like a Picasso painting. But, just before I got out of secondary school, I realized, no, I want to really, really make people beautiful. I want to make women beautiful. And so it's that desire that really... I love art. I love creating. I love drawing. I love sketching. I love painting. But, what really drew my attention and has kept it for decades is makeup, So the human face is my own
Canvas.
And why I still do it is because I'm very stubborn, There was a time where makeup artistry was not the profession that you could boast about, you know. I started when I would not confidently call myself a makeup artist. That was the year that I started makeup, you know. With all the other things that I've done, I've still had makeup, you know, as like, this is
core.
this is a dream. So I'm stubbornly still doing it because I must be that billionaire who's a makeup artist, just a makeup artist, you understand?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not to prove a point to anyone, but if you really love something, you must stick it through.
Stick it to the end.
Yes, like, don't give up because it's not, I mean, I've been paid 2.5 for a bridal job before, you know? So
don't say it out loud.
Okay. So I'm here because I believe so much in what I do. I believe that doing what you love, doing what you're skilled at, and earning an income from it is like the dream.
I hear you. So there's the intrinsic value that a woman or a person naturally carries, but then there is also that external aspect of beautification that enhances the intrinsic value. So how does makeup, or how does the way that you apply makeup or the work that you do, how does that empower others to embrace their magic? Speaking as both a makeup artist and also an everyday woman that sits behind the brush of a makeup artist.
Okay. I think first things first is that I mentioned earlier that everybody has unique features. And I think that for me, one of the things that I hold dear and one of the ways that I respect or identify makeup artists who knows their onions is that, you know, the person who sat on your chair before your makeup and the person who's standing up from your chair, they are not like two different people, you know. It's just like you have enhanced what God put there. You have made it, you have, you know, accentuated it, not tried to change it around. You know, but on the flip side is that no matter how expensive the products, no matter how talented the makeup artist, if the beauty on the inside, if there's no beauty, if there's no intrinsic value on the inside, if there's no, you know, Yoruba say iwalewa. And, you know, that statement is so much more than just behavior. It's more character. It's more self-worth, self-awareness, just being confident in who you are and what you have. All of those things, they would make just a simple stroke of mascara look like you're wearing the most beautiful makeup, you know, because it just shines from within and makes what's outside better.
So, I mean, I've seen some really crazy transformations on social media where you see one person go in and it's a completely different person like that comes out.
Their phones may not even open.
Is there some sort of ethic or ethics or something that goes with that? Or is it, does everybody just say, look, I'm going to do whatever I feel like doing?
So, you know, people say, and then again, it's the thing with social media, and it's the loudest voice on social media that may be assumed as the authority. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if someone comes up to say there are no rules to makeup, that's a lie. Because no matter the trend, no matter what you create, there are still some basic ethics that must guide every makeup artist. For instance, the face shapes, the difference in face shapes, the difference in eyebrow shapes. You know, you cannot just say, oh, I know how to do one shape of eyebrow, and then I'm going to put it on everybody, whether they have an oval face shape or square face shape. So, you know, there are ethics that you must go by, no matter the trends. They make you worth your weight in gold as a makeup artist. They differentiate you because no matter the trends that even you apply, those basics, they guide.
The principles.
Yes, they just guide your work. Knowing skin types, identifying undertones. Those are the things that you must never lose sight of as a makeup artist. So yeah, the ethics is just that people, again,
I completely understand.
Yeah.
Can you share a time a client's transformation moved you emotionally? I'll ask that question first. The follow-up question to that is, did that make you realize that your job was bigger than you?
Yes.
Is there one specific thing? Was it things that have happened across the time? But I think maybe even the bigger question beyond that is, when did you actually realize that this job was bigger than you?
So it's almost spiritual. This that I mean, I may not be able to go into so much details, but I recall that the first time that I paid attention to this was it wasn't even in the look. It was in the what they say, that people don't remember you for what you do, they remember you for how you made them feel.
Yeah, yes.
So after that session, before she even went on about how she looked, she was like, oh my God, like there's just something so peaceful about being around you. She said that there was something so soothing about the way my hands are. I naturally trained myself to have a soft stroke. Like my
Your touch
is soft, is intentional. I don't hold the head or bend the neck. It's just soft, but it was much more than just the physical touch for her. And she was like, she fell asleep, and apart from just falling asleep, when she woke up, when we were done, she was like, oh, you're done? Like, it was just so peaceful. And this has happened. I've heard this too many times, I can't even count. And then when she looked at it, she was like, oh my God, I look like myself. Like I look like myself. And, a more recent one was a project, a multinational, an international project, I can say, or maybe multinational, because it was a collaboration between Nigerian production company and one from yes. And I recall that when we resumed principal photography, one of the producers from the external country was just going on. I mean, the NDA I signed is like 12 pages, so that's why I can't even,
fine.
And then she was just going on and on about how like the producers here were just insisting and fighting that it has to be me, blah blah blah. And I'd not even spoken to either one of them, the ones here, in a while. And I now asked that, so why like after having worked with me for this number of weeks, do you think it was worth it? She said entirely that it was more about how, so for them, it was the skin work. Like they just insisted that it was a soft touch, that the people don't look like
they've been touched.
Yeah. It's just almost like barely there. You didn't do anything. Yeah. So, but this has been a thing for me. And these are the things when I face challenges or when I'm just tired, and creatives, we are so prone to burnout.
Yeah.
And when I feel so burnt out and I just like, me strong more. I just want to be a baby girl. I just remember that there are destinies that are tied to this.
What you do.
Yes, that is so much more than makeup artistry. People, sometimes it may just be that 45-minute session that makes someone, have a rethink about a decision they're making about their lives,
It's a very poignant way to put it when you say that there are destinies that are tied to you. It's the same way, that when a woman gives birth, or that there are destinies that are tied to women in general, because you are literally designed, created to give life.
Yes.
And those lives that you nurture, you bring into the world, they also affect other people's lives. And it's a ripple effect, constantly. And I think it's why it's so important that women find their magic. Women understand their magic and they can express that magic. And if I could ask you, how do you express your magic? What would you say?
Express my magic by being authentically me and just creating, just doing, honestly. That's it. It's not deeper than that. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. It's great to speak with you. It's Faye, we've been friends for a minute.
Yeah,
there was a time we were twins, and I can attest to that soft touch and that really delicate, delicate touch that one feels from you. I can attest to that magic because I've been at the receiving end, and that's why it's so exciting to speak to you now about this. I'm excited and I'm looking forward to the big things and the great things that I know you will do.
Thank you so
and
much.
The lives that you're going to touch. I'm excited to see that.
Thank you so
But I've got
much.
one more question for you. Okay. And this is going to be your answer to camera.
Okay.
And that question is, Faye, Why do you create?
I create because I am the creation of a creator. So it's innate. I cannot exist without creating. It's natural to me.